Tropical depression Aghon continues to move across the Philippines today, bringing much needed beneficial rainfall from Mindanao all across Visayas and now moving into southern Luzon, where we're expected this to move right near the Metro Manila area. Now, this won't be a full-on typhoon type situation for Manila, but persistent heavy rain over the course of about 24 hours, especially here on Sunday heading into Monday morning, could cause some local urban flooding. Not to mention flooding potential across some of the mountainous regions here as well. So we already have been seeing that rainfall. We are going to continue to see it. So let's break down this forecast, not only for the Philippines, but also even stretching back towards the north across Okinawa and southwestern Japan. I'm meteorologist Robert Speta. Let's get into that forecast here. Now, first, I do want to note the leading edge that's already starting to impact parts of central and northern Luzon as well. That's across the Cagayan Valley, where the storm is expected to turn towards the north and east and move offshore, but you still could have some side effects kind of coming from it. First off, storm is tracking and edging further west compared to previous tracks, thus getting closer and closer to that potential direct impacts on Manila. And also it will track near Okinawa, but you're probably not going to see a direct landfall for our friends out there in southwestern Japan. All right, let's take a look at the broader picture and just kind of show you why I'm expecting that turn towards the north. We've been talking about this for a few days. It's been rounding the Westpac high back here towards the east, came on shore around Samar on Friday, then moved across basically central Visayas, already drying out on the backside of this, by the way, for Cebu. It's pretty much over for you. And then they're going to edge towards north. Now, see this front right here? That's going to hook it and cause it to eventually make a hard right-hand turn. And we can take a look at that here on our future cast as we go ahead through our day on Sunday. Boy, just persistent rainfall here on Sunday for the NCR. Then it's going to skirt towards the north, passing just south of Pangasinan. Places like Subic, you're going to see that inflow on the backside of it. Skirting Aurora, southern Isabela, basically just cruising along the Sierra Madre Mountains. There's going to be a lot of rainfall right up in here. This entire swath. I would not be one bit surprised if its numbers total over 300 millimeters in some of those higher elevations before this turns towards the north and then gets hooked up by this front that's going to cause it to kick off, but pretty close to Okinawa. Here's the official track from the Philippine Meteorological Agency, Pagasa, having this pass just by Manila, moving across places like Cavite Province, then kicking out here as a tropical storm before intensifying into a typhoon as it cruises towards the north. It may not have direct, but Minami Daito probably going to see a direct impact. Maybe even back there towards some of the Izu and Ogasawara Islands. Here's the multi-forecast track, and you're curious, well, yeah, they've been edging west, but what does all the other agencies say? And everybody does expect this to make that hard right-hand turn and have the southern Sierras and the northern Sierras kind of block out some of the worst of those impacts there in northern Luzon. But take a look at the forecast for Sunday heading into Monday for Manila. Yeah, you got the rain out here on, I mean, Sunday is going to be the wettest one by far. It is going to be rain, northwesterlies, and still looking at some thunderstorms on the back side of it here on your Monday as well. So next 48 hours going to be pretty sloppy here. And you just take a look at our forecast as it skips along here. Look how close the ECMWF takes it to the NCR, right in there. But I mean, all the while this is happening, you still have that westerly flow from Mindoro as well before this just kind of edges along. It skirts the hills here and shoots off there towards the east with that inflow on the back side of it, still bringing some heavy rainfall for places like Region 1 as we go ahead into next week too. So yeah, already been seeing some pretty decent rainfall here. There's still more. These numbers I think I'm going to have to adjust because I think some areas right in here when all said and done. Just take a look at the ECMWF guidance. Watch these areas in red indicating 300 millimeters. Oof, that is a swath of likely flooding. I think a lot of the other areas, especially down towards Visayas, I can't stress this enough, more or less your rain is done with, guys. Look at this. Cebu actually has dry weather in the forecast. Tacloban, cloudy skies. The nasty conditions are now back here towards the north, where, of course, we are seeing our tropical system move overhead. Not a tropical storm yet, by the way. Despite all the rainfall we're seeing, you're not seeing those sustained winds of 34 knots. So, like I mentioned, it's not a wind event. But, you know, we do have signal force warnings. I don't really like to show them in these updates because it changes. Just make sure you check Pegasus like Facebook page. Probably one of the easiest ways to check for the latest information. They're the official source. I'm not an official source, but I try my best to keep you guys informed. All right. Do want to mention, of course, all our impacts here in the Philippines. But also, look at this front dipping in from the north. On Tuesday, places like Okinawa, southwestern Japan, going to have the influence from that. But also, that could hook this and have it come very close to Okinawa. And if this edges, geez, Louise, even just a bit further west for our friends in Okinawa and the southwestern Japan, for that matter. I mean, even back here towards the Mami Islands. Yeah, that's a little too close for comfort. I'll tell you that. We could be looking at some nasty weather Tuesday, heading into Wednesday with those winds picking up, even just a light westward track. So stay informed for our friends out here. At the very least, you're going to see some nasty waves, not only from the southward or storm, but also this front that's kicking on in here Tuesday and the Wednesday. That'll kick up and bring some rough weather there as well. And then you got all that southwesterly flow behind it with the rainy season kicking in. So much to talk about. And I like to do it here, but I wouldn't be able to do it without the support of our friends on Patreon. So big thanks for everybody who continues to check in and gives us updates, or gives us support, I should say. I give you guys the updates. Yeah, makes these possible. Anyways, that's all for today, or at least this evening. I'll have another update later on. Maybe I have a few today. So number one thing is stay informed, stay weather aware, and of course, stay safe out there, friends. All right.